you that don't know me, I'm John Akata. That's AKPATA. Write that in your little notebook there. But I'm a spoken word artist, and I've also run 4 times federally for election. I ran with the Marijuana Party, and I think those reasons are obvious. Trying to make a plant that provides food, medicine, shelter, to be illegal, to me is kind of silly. And there's a whole bunch of problems that go along with that. I won't get into that, but all the other politicians are going to say that they agree or disagree with Occupy, or with Occupied Ottawa, or the Occupy movement. And I'm all for it. Let's do what you got to do. There's a lot of work ahead of you. A lot of people will try to make you look like the bad guys, but don't buy into that. And when the weather gets nasty, you know, the tough get tough and the going get going, something like that. When the tough get tough, when the going get tough, the tough get going. That's it. Poetry. But last time I came down and performed, I brought a lot of fire. And I think today, to get everything started off on the right foot, I'm going to bring some water. And I think that when you're an activist and you try to do something, you try to organize something, you try to be heard, you got to do 2 things. You got to keep your mind right, and you got to keep your heart right. If you keep your mind right, everything will make sense. And if you keep your heart right, good things will come to you, more than you can imagine. So we're here, thank you. We're here on the Dalai Lama's Human Rights Memorial, the memorial, which is a dedication to human rights, monument. The Dalai Lama came to Ottawa just a little while ago, and he met with Stephen Harper privately, not publicly. If the Dalai Lama wanted to meet with me, I'd bring him everywhere, man. I'd bring him to poetry shows, I'd bring him to my mom's house, I'd show him off to all my friends and all the media, and I'd let that discussion be public. I think the reason why that discussion was made private is because the Dalai Lama came here to give Stephen Harper a little talking to, because Canada does not recognize human rights. We have Human Rights Commission and the Human Rights Tribunal, but we never signed as a signatory to the International Declaration of Human Rights, just like we didn't sign Kyoto. So yeah, shame. But in lieu of being here, and in lieu of that visit, and in lieu of you guys all starting off with your minds right and your hearts right, I'm going to do a poem called Meditate. And this is not a meditation on some hippie nonsense of thinking about nothing. This is a meditation that you do before you step into battle. Keep your mind right, keep your heart right. In order to achieve perfection, one must have a foundation solid like a mountain. One must learn direction, and one must know the way. One must have freedom from baseness. As ignorance the road to hell, and enlightenment the path to heaven are eternally unified. Therefore, the only way to achieve peace and happiness is through prayer and meditation. So every single day, when my eyes open and my soul awakes, before I step out on my way, before I eat, before I pray, so I maintain a peaceful state, my consciousness I elevate, I channel energy, and I create, because I take the time to meditate. Planet Earth is where I habitate. 2012 emergency state where Satan tries to inculcate his wicked ways and deviate me from my path which keeps me free. I won't be deceived by what I see. I seek higher divinity, true power that resides in me. Success is my destiny, so you see no restlessness in me, with a confidence that you cannot shake, because I take the time to meditate. Don't you take my kindness for weakness, because Babylon will always attempt to deceive us. They lie to us, brainwash us, and lead us to the same people who crucified Jesus. But I shall never be afraid. I train and relax my brain. I keep my heart rate about 78, positivity with no debate. I rise above their war and hate. My Rasta soul, they cannot break the dark valley I always navigate. With a balanced mind, reason resonates, because I take the time to meditate. I said I make the time to meditate. You better take some time to meditate. I said I make that time to meditate. Yes, I meditate. Blood circulates. Heart and brain communicate. My soul, you know what transmigrates is frequencies that resonate. From the center, that creates all that exists in a physical state, all that exists in a spiritual plane. In my heart and in my brain. Interest rate, slavery state, bank rate, control, deflate, life estate to welfare state. You can't afford to procreate. Just tolerate the police state, tailgate profile, your license plate, premeditate, fabricate. They want you to lie down prostrate. When they move freight, they always skate. Them and the crime rate are innate. I conjugate and disseminate that raw truth that precipitates from Babylon, which desecrates who was in the first place. I am conscious like the king of Kuwait. If you blaze with me, you better not be a lightweight. Always roll at an even gait. Patience is a noble trait. On Judgment Day, there's no rain date. When the ruler speaks, what predates dictates. Double-edged sword penetrate chest plates. Good vibes translate, my soul elates. Because I take that time to meditate. Instead of make that time to meditate, you better take some time to meditate. I always make that time to meditate. Every person in every place, if they could have things their own way, they'd have no conflict in their day. Just food, water, rest, and play. A safe home and safe place for seeds to be raised. Yeah. But planet Earth is not that way these days, so big moves is what we have to make. A paradigm shift is what it takes. When the pressure's on, you better concentrate. When you make your move, you better contemplate. You are resigned to your own fate. Ancestors keep the record straight. When my soul is weary, I clean the slate and take the time to meditate. Well done, Occupied Ottawa. Much love and respect.